Shirtless.
क्या शर्ट कपड़े उतारना
क्या चाहती है यार? क्या चाहती है? क्या?
Okay, so before I ask my first question, these are questions that we picked up from this campaign that Bumble did on Instagram with all these influencers, where they asked them 4 or 5 questions about, that just allowed a recap for 2020. We picked these questions up from there because surprisingly they were quite good. And if Bumble wants to sponsor us, then it can. But we'll see.
Bumble sponsor me, I'm single. Bumble,
Yeah,
I'm
I
single,
think that's a
sponsor me.
glaring endorsement for that. So Bumble, you just go for it. But yeah,
Yes.
so these questions, we'll be covering a few things from 2020, just to recap, to make sure that we have a clean slate, even in the podcast, and we can, just start fresh this year. So my first question is, in 2020, are there any ideas that you held very close to yourself that you've let go of? And why or why not?
So I think before we get into the question, one thing I need to highlight is I'm very thankful that I didn't lose anyone because of COVID. I didn't lose anyone very close to myself due to COVID. And I'm really, really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful that all of my family has been healthy throughout this 1 year. Touch wood to that as well. And and I know it's been really tough year for a lot of people. I think again it was something we no one expected to happen, and I won't say it was the toughest year for me personally, and I will still give that award to 2019. And and so yeah, so I think the like answering your question, one thing that I left like in conjunction, like I learned the lesson from 2019 and then it went to 2020 as well, was that it's it's just uncertain. You can plan as much as you want. You can plan the next 6 months, next 6 years, next 60 years of your life, and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You have no fucking clue what's going to happen tomorrow. Even though all of us were mentally prepared for a lockdown, no one was prepared that you'll have to sit at your house with 5 or 6 other people in your house, and you'll be hearing a lot of noises. Yeah, you'll be hearing a lot of noises throughout the day, and then I think everyone coped in their ways as well, and I think everyone did pretty well when it came to that. But yeah, I think the one major lesson that I learned was respect the uncertainty of life.
Oh, wow.
And be yeah, and I'll write a book at the end of my life which will be quotes by Manan Kalra. This will be one of those. Respect the uncertainty of life, because you don't know what's gonna happen to you tomorrow. You have no clue. You have no clue.
That's true.
Yeah. What
So,
about you?
like everything that you said holds true for me also. Apart from that, like there are a few things that aren't so serious in nature, but so like you said, right, with 2020, all of us had to sit at homes with nothing to do. And even in that sense, it got a little too much of our parents, a little too much of our siblings and XYZ. And within, the context of all of this, I realized that when it comes to relationships, even if it's your friends or your significant others or your parents or your grandparents for that matter, it's not necessary to constantly be in contact with people, right? Like this is something that I might have known before this year also, but I never truly understood the significance of it. And now I know that fine. So let's say if you and I haven't spoken to each other for 4 or 5 days, then that doesn't mean that, oh no, something must be wrong. You're just taking your time to deal with things. I'm taking my time to deal with things, and that happens. It took a while for me to get comfortable with it, but now that I have, I think it's one of the best things that happened this year, and I'm genuinely glad for that. In addition to obviously my family and my friends being healthy, happy, and safe.
Yeah. Okay, so my first question to you is, what is one habit you left behind in 2020, and what's one thing that really, really kept you happy in the year?
Okay, fine. Okay, great question. So the habit that I'm leaving behind, actually, there's two that come to my mind right away. Which is one is obviously being able to just be off my phone for a few hours at a stretch, because I've constantly found myself scrolling for no reason, watching stupid reels for no reason, TikToks before
I
that.
don't
So
think
that's
that's
something.
stupid, bro. I think that's fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but after a
I think
point, it gets
I
quite
send you I
stupid.
send about I send about 10 reels to you every day.
Yeah, so you contributed significantly to this, but
Yeah.
so the second habit that I'm leaving behind is taking things for granted, right? And this includes everything. Like, most importantly, it includes being healthy. Then
Oh
it
yeah.
includes being
100%.
being just being able to communicate with my parents, with my friends. And why I feel that this is quite important is because I've seen that I have a tendency to put things off, not even for the next day, but for the next week and the next month and so forth. And I've realized that if I have the
Hmm.
ability to do something, even if it's just getting up and going and working out uh, on my terrace, then that's something that I should do, even if it's 20-25 minutes. So I'm generally hoping that it doesn't happen to me this year, and I'm able to do things as they come along. As far as things that have kept me happy, for a large part of the year it was PUBG, but then Modi ji
Oh,
couldn't see us being that happy and he took that away from us.
PUBG. That's one thing I miss.
Yeah, genuinely, I genuinely miss PUBG. So Modi ji, if you're
Yeah.
listening, please bring it back. This is a very
And we
sincere
know you're
request.
listening. We know you're
Yeah,
listening.
of course. Bring it back. Apart from that,
Yeah.
uh, the time when all the sports came back, NBA came back, football came back, so that kept me busy. I started
Yeah.
following football again, which I'd just lost a lot of I just lost touch from. So I'm glad that happened. And it comes down to the fact that what kept me happy was that I was healthy. I had a group of friends to talk to. I had a group of
Yeah.
friends to hang out with in a safe and distinct manner when we had to do it. And then I had friends who just wouldn't meet me because it wasn't safe enough. So yeah, I
Shout
think
out Rajveer.
yeah, I think that's what kept me happy this year.
So I think one habit that I'm leaving behind in 2020, I genuinely have no clue. I think it's just being less of a dick, which I decide every year that I leave behind.
No, but I think that
But
we both made considerable strides in that
yeah,
aspect.
progress. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
100%. Please,
That's what.
everyone who's listening, please, please tell us if we have, or is it just not there
In
and
our
we think that
heads,
it's
yeah.
there. Yeah. I think, like you said, the thing that kept me happy was firstly the 94 of you. Shout out all our subscribers. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, yeah.
You kept us really happy. And even though there are three of my fake accounts in that, I kept myself happy also.
I have no fake
But,
accounts.
but how do you think we reached 94, Jay? It's all me. But but no, anyway, I think yeah, you're right. Just having like a very good and supportive set of friends around you, along with your parents as well. I think just a very strong bond. That I think it comes when you spend a lot of time with each other, irrespective of the number of fights that I've had with my parents. I think
You
we've
can't help that.
also, yeah, I can assure you that it's it's different now than it was a year ago.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we know
definitely.
a lot of things about each other now that we didn't know a year ago.
Yeah,
And that
that's
says a
true.
lot because we've been staying together for 22 years now. So so I think uh that's one thing that's really kept me happy. And along with that, I think LeBron, the GOAT, kept me happy.
Yeah,
What a win! What a win! What a win! Yeah, go on.
fine. We'll see what the win should look like this year. But I'm
Yeah.
not seeing anything, so I can't jinx it. But moving on to my second question. What is
Hmm.
something that you're proud of achieving this year? This year as in 2020. And like you should know that there's nothing that you should not be proud of achieving in the last year. Everything is an achievement.
Proud. Honestly, bro, proud. I don't know. I think okay. So help me structure my thoughts a bit. Do you think this year was more productive for you or less productive for you?
I think it felt more productive because we had more time on our hands than usual.
But did we make enough of the time? Is the question.
I think it's subjective, but personally, I do think that we did make a lot out of our time.
Yeah, I think I wasted the shit out of my year, bro.
That's a good structure to your answer.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what I'm actually sort of proud of is like I'm really happy with it. I don't think I'm proud of it, but I'm really happy that we started this,
Yeah, true.
and then there are people who went out of their ways who we didn't talk to for a long time. They reached out to us and they congratulated us and said that's a nice thing that you're doing. So I think that made me sort of proud that
Fine, I'm
okay,
doing something.
I'm doing something. And yeah, so I think the podcast made me really happy. Pillowtalk Sports as well made me really happy. Coming out soon with new shit.
We can't talk about
But
that yet. We can't.
that you is there something that you're proud of?
Proud of, yeah. So I think it can be broken down into three things, right? The first is I'm genuinely proud of the both of us for putting out 13, 14 episodes of the podcast. Like it doesn't look like it's
Yeah.
a lot, but trust me, it's a lot of work and you're not always motivated to do it. So
Yeah,
13 episodes again is a
that's
lot.
true.
So I'm genuinely
Yeah.
glad that we, decided to go ahead with it and actually, executed it.
No, we did 13?
Yeah, we've done 13.
That's
That's a lot.
bro, that's when did we start? We started in March.
We started late March, yeah.
Late
And
March.
at
So
that
that's
time, I'd said that by
9 months.
mid-April, coronavirus would be over. So that's quite wrong.
Now we have vaccines, bro. It's over.
So
This is it.
mid-April again. Mid-April still intact. It's just the year that's
Mid-April,
different.
just year different year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different.
But yeah, anyway, go
Right.
on.
Yeah. And the second thing is this is something that I've actually picked up from my friends, which includes you and others who know who they are, which is being fiscally more responsible because I have this habit of spending whatever money I have, right?
Yeah.
As soon as it comes, it goes out as well. So
Hmm.
now that I've been able to, save a certain amount and be able to, actually have some volume when it comes to, say, investing in different things and just making sure that I'm saving the money and not just, spending it as soon as it comes into my hands, that's something that I'm genuinely
On
proud of
Big Chill.
achieving. Big Chill. See, the only times that I've gone to Big Chill
Bro,
this year or
Big Chill
eaten from Big
takes a
Chill this year is you, is with you. So,
bro, we've had Big Chill 4 times in the last month, Jay. Four
yeah, and
times.
last time I couldn't finish it because I've had enough.
Bro, that's the saddest thing I'll ever hear in my life. Jay has not finished his Big Chill meal, and that has never
It's the
happened to
first
us
time that it
before.
ever happened, guys. I'm
It's the
genuinely
first time
I'm
that
very,
it has
very
happened
sorry
to
for
either one
it.
of us,
Yeah,
and that's just disrespectful, Jay.
yeah, it is
Also, Big
quite
Chill,
distressful.
Big Chill, can I make a statement?
We still haven't gotten the
I
refund.
I still haven't gotten the refund. I called you because you gave me penne with bacon with cheese and butter when I specifically asked you not to. And then when I asked you, you said, "Sorry, sir, it happened by mistake. I could have died." Okay, that's an overstatement, but I didn't consume it. But I want my refund, Big Chill. Please reach out to us. Give me my
It's
refund.
crazy how many brands we've mentioned in a 15-minute podcast.
Yeah, but
I
Big Chill, if you, it's fine if you don't give us the refund, just sponsor us.
sponsor us. Yeah, just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
and
sponsor us, Big Chill.
the third thing, this is something that I'm the most proud of,
Yeah.
which is like you mentioned, right? That now you know more about your family members and they know more about you than they did a year ago. And over this past year, I've seen that I've been able to communicate better with my family, which I feel was
Hmm.
largely missing because it, usually just ended up in an argument or, me not being able to understand what they meant or the other way around. And that's improved significantly. So that's something that I'm genuinely very proud of. being able to communicate with my family better, and just being able to live in a confined space for say a year or so. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
quite nice.
I think my second question to end the podcast with is, what do you look forward to in 2021?
Oh, so
Don't
this
give me a
brings me
list, bro. Give me one.
this brings me back to your first answer, right? You can't plan anything. So
Yeah,
be
but
it
you can look
3
forward to
months,
something.
6 months. I'm genuinely looking forward to more episodes for the podcast. I'm looking forward to more
Yeah,
consistency, better content, and obviously
100%,
sponsorship
bro.
deals.
Gotta do this.
Yeah. What are you looking
I'm
forward
looking
to in
forward
2021?
to getting married. Shadi.com, hit us up.
Someone has to do it out of our group, so might as well be you.
I'm done, bro. I need to relax. I need a vacation, which is why I'm getting married. And so Shadi.com, Big Chill, Bumble. Oh no, we can't talk to Bumble and Shadi.com together.
Yeah, that's a
Oh no.
conflict. You
No,
can't do that.
Bumble fine. Shadi.com later.
Later, in a year or so.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
2022. But yeah, looking forward to in 2021. I think after 2019, I genuinely stopped planning. Genuinely.
Give
Like
me one thing,
everything
man.
I'd
Give me
planned,
one thing.
everything I planned was out of the window. So I didn't plan only. But for sure, I think I want to do more things that excite me, that keep me on my toes. Please, God, I don't mean it in a bad way, because
As
the
a
last time I
challenge.
asked for exactly the last time I asked for some adventure in my life, it didn't go down well. So I need some good adventure in my life. And I think, yeah, I think definitely more episodes of this podcast. Also, because we're very stupid and we don't get ideas that often. So please send in your ideas, send in the stuff that you want us to talk about. And it can be either chill, it could be opinionated, anything. We can do either because we don't have any
Yeah,
niche.
we're
Yeah.
good at all
One
things.
thing I'm really looking forward to is meeting a lot of people tomorrow, which we'll be doing with
This is
full
not going
safety.
out tomorrow. This is tomorrow
No,
or
but
week back.
yeah, this is 7 days ago
Yeah.
that we're meeting. So I'm really looking forward to 17th January 2020, because we're meeting a lot of our school
2021,
friends.
man. What's wrong
Oh,
with
sorry,
you?
sorry.
2021.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. So yeah, we're
Yeah,
meeting a
but
lot of
that's
people from our
true.
school tomorrow, and I'm really
After a
looking
very
forward to
long
that. I've been
while.
looking
So
forward to
that's
that for a
something that
week
we're
now.
excited for. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite exciting. If something good happens, so our original group of friends were told that they are supposed to record a podcast, but they're too lazy and lethargic to
Too
do that,
drunk.
and too drunk. I don't want to say that on camera. Yeah, but they're too drunk to do that. So we're looking for new friends as well, and recruitment forms
Yeah.
will open on our Insta. So just stay tuned.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think many of you would want to be our friends, but that's okay. Just fill
It's
in the
just for the
form and keep us
podcast. Yeah.
happy. Yeah, just keep us happy.
I think with that, are there any more questions? Oh, I'm really looking forward to 2021. Yeah. With friendship forms, I'm sending out a girlfriend relationship forms. Yeah. Yep. And I'll make one for Jay also. Because
One eternity later.
That's all that we have for this podcast, guys. And we'd be very, very interested to know what your answers are for these 3-4 questions that we had. And you can just DM us, send us messages,
Put in the comments.
messages, or put comments on our YouTube video.
Yeah.
And just stay tuned for the next episode, which probably won't take another 2 months. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Let us know what you think. Bye bye.
I think, yeah, with that, I think, are there any more questions? Oh, one thing I'm really looking forward to 2021.
Yeah.
With friendship forms, I'm sending out a girlfriend form.
Relationship forms. Yeah.
Yep. And I'll make one for Jay also.
Because
So
the
if
breakup is
anybody-
inevitable.
Inevitable. So if anybody wants to fill it, you can fill it out for Jay as well. And